Hello everyone. Let's start the today Hindu analysis. The today's news about first page. Will the SC accepts the Daliwal Steer Center? In previous news, we already heard about the farmers protesting in Punjab for the MSP prices. Today's Supreme Court decision on Daliwal Steer goes to the center, and where the Union Minister Sivaraj Chauhan said here the Wednesday, Centre will abide to the Supreme Court reaction on indefinite hunger strike by farmer leader Jagdeep Dalewal. This news is already in news from the recent last 1 weeks. So finally, this goes to the Supreme Court because state is not taking decisions, and the uh, farmers, and this goes to generally the state list, but now it is moving to the concurrent list. So next is the important one is the net GST growth, uh, which was 3.3 in December as a revenue drops, refund rises. It was GST collections, Indian good gross services GST recipient increased about 43 months. In December, uh, while the growth of net GST collection stumbled to 3.3%, peak in the financial year 24-25. Generally, examiner can ask about what type of GST. Generally, there are three type of GSTs that we recommend. So let's see the growth rate. The growth that slumped in November, they are 1.77 lakh crore, hitting a 3-month low and reflecting 7.3% growth. 7.3% growth when gross recipient rises, when the growth rate the 40-month low of 66.5%. Part of sharper moderations, the taxpayers generally touched is 22,000. Here is 22,490 crore net recipients, and November GST is received up to 8.5%. There is a 20% decline in the taxes paid on domestic transactions. The half article is cut while cropped, but I'm telling you what was written there. That prior reference to revenues from domestic transaction is 8.4% in December, and there was imports grew up to grew just 3.9% and 5.9% in November. So next, moving to the second editorial is, generally there was very less news about, well, there's more or less no local news. So I am just moving directly to the school drop rates. That is today's editorial is all about, that how much school dropouts, and this is worse in the Bihar and Assam. The data's from bad to worse in Bihar and Assam. Failing attendance. What is the reason I am telling this article in detail, because there is a very long editorial which was already cropped in this image, but I am telling you. So sorry. So there was this data is from the comparison of 2019 to 2024 comparison. So there was a dropouts rate about the different states in Karnataka, Rajasthan, Gujarat, Haryana. This table is already listed about the primary and secondary school, upper primary and secondary, about the girls and boys dropouts. So overall, every 100 girls, who started schooling, 80 completed their secondary educations and without dropping out in 2024, and compared to the just 73.5 in 2019. 73.5 in 2019, and corresponding numbers is 77 and 72.4 in 2019 respectively. So despite, however, in the all India settlement, Karnataka and Rajasthan have recorded a significant spike in student. The data was cropped, so I am writing. In Bihar, Assam, a state where dropout rates are already concerned, the rates have slipped further in 2024. In Karnataka, 100 girls who started schooling, 76.5 completed secondary education without dropping out, and compared to the 79.3 in 2019. Similarly, for boys, the ratio declined to 70.7. Sorry, 70.7 in 2019. Okay, 73 say 73.6 in Bihar. In Bihar, the ratio slipped from bad worse to same period. Out of 100 girls who started schooling, only 40.03 completed their secondary educations. Similarly, for boys, the ratio decline is to 38.8 from 55,912. Means earlier it was dropout rates are less, but now dropout rates are more. Means 51 to 38.8. The table shows the number of students on every 100 who completed upper primary and secondary education 2024. Data provided all the major states, where the states such as Bihar and Assam situation went from bad to worse. States such as Kerala and Tamil Nadu improved from good to excellent. Kerala and Tamil Nadu. This list in Bihar, this is from the at the lowest bottom level. So table shows the number of student in upper and primary, secondary, and upper primary class 6 to class 8, secondary 9 to 12. In Kerala, the 99.6 completed upper primary to 9, while further improved to 100 in 2024. So this was a great ranking in state of Kerala. So for instance, in 2019, girls who started in Maharashtra completed 83.1. All the state other data, if I started from every state, then it will take a very more time. So I am just concluding here this article. Now moving to the next. Tracking elimination by reversing population control. So tracking elimination, reversing population control. This is the article about the different state where the constituencies are based on the populations, and the elimination commission until it is made by about 4 times. And again, if after the census is completed of 2021, then there is a Delimitation Commission will be formed based on the constituencies on the basis of population. So these states are just tracking the reversing population control. There is an article about the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu, Chandran Naidu and M.K. Stalin were quite peeved about the question of proposed elimination exercise, because these states complains that they are controlling their fertility rate, they are controlling their population growth. Then why these states get the lesser constituencies, they get less resources and income money in comparison to those states that have overburdened their population. And due to because in India the Delimitation Commission was based on the population, not on the area wise. So it's about the South Indian states are complaining that they are doing their best to control the populations for the country's growth, but they get the punishment about this. So that the Delimitation Commission responses, like today there is a scenario of discussing Lok Sabha constituency, raises the question why we should restrict ourselves to bring children to the we repealed the law and now considering reversing. Government may provide more benefits to the families with more children. And Mr. Stalin responses was that the article was maybe less visible. Scenario discussing the Lok Sabha constituencies, and it raises the question why should we restrict ourselves to having fewer children. Mr. Stalin added in jest, why should not aim for 16 children. There was a writer here describing about the example of China. The question arises in the light of reaction responses of chief minister that it is possible to arrest fertility decline. Moreover, reverse by attempting to increase it. It is evident that attainment of low fertility in the course of fertility transition is hardly reversible by intervention. So it is too simplistic solution that being forwarded to by some politician in southern states. Varied population count. The course of the fertility decline in India state shows the signs of convergence across space and characteristic population momentum wider between the region. These given circumstances, population count between the provinces not to appropriate criteria political. Impact on women. What was the impact? That encouraging women to have more children may be easier said than. In concurrent circumstances, a woman's personal loss in engaging the reproduction is much greater than imagined, given the state's approach in facilitating the same. So the state is describing now the fertility decline when divided the benefited the larger causes. This implication in women's life has been less than expected. So this is all about the ultimate solution lies not in reversing the fertility but in reversing. So the writer concluded here there that the ultimate solution doesn't lies that reversing fertility but in reversing count based political representation and delimitation exercises. So next, moving to the next article, it is about the climate change at youth at forefront climate legislations. Writer here describing about that you should be aware about the climate changes, climate agitation, and they should be protest about the going political inactivity to the climate changes, because what the future generation will get if it is devastated in such way that present. So the youth led climate agitation by holding the government and corporation accountable, young people frame the violation. They argue that the disproportionate impact bold systematic solution like agitation emphasizes the urgent need for climate action. There was a major milestone landmark of youth-led there was a movement, a landmark movement of state of Montana case in US where the Montana Supreme Court upheld a district court ruling in favor of 16 young plaintiffs who argued that Montana fossil fuel policies violated their constitutional rights and addressed the climate crisis. So there was the roots of case tracked back to August 2023 in the district court of Judge Kathy Silly in the favor of plaintiffs holding Montana first youth-led constitutional climate lawsuit US to go trial and secure a victory. Youth-driven climatic revolution global the climate change movement achieving. There is a transformating implications that youth-driven legal battles are transforming the climate policy. Campaigns by figures like Greta Thunberg, courtroom advocacy, lawsuits. The youth path to the climate activism, allying the pharma resilience, _ youth activities challenging the policies in the court, youth-driven climate agitation, revolutionizing the global, stressing the international equity by leveraging the law. And young people are driving transformative change, that young people can form a transformative changes for generation to come, inspiring a new way of climatic leadership and activism. There's also a case there's also youth climatic agitation is gaining traction globally in Canada. at LA Rose versus His Majesty. Sorry. LA Rose versus His Majesty King. The case represented the significant step forward in lawsuit. Young Plain argued that insufficient climate policies violate the sufficient. So I'm concluding the editorial today. Next, I will come with the more news and a better detail analysis. I know I just started this, so I'm not able to give a detailed analysis, but I will give a better explanation. So thank you for today analysis. Let's meet for tomorrow. Thank you.